St James Church, Trowbridge, Wiltshire. St James, the parish church of Trowbridge, the county town of Wiltshire. With its prominent spire, it is reminiscent of the design of Salisbury Cathedral. St James stands just as proud above the Trowbridge town centre as the cathedral does in Salisbury. And it has further good reason to be compared with the cathedral. It is also a Grade 1 listed building and is one of just 6 in Trowbridge. There has been a church on this site since the 13th century. Then, between 1460 and 1485, the citizens rebuilt the church in a style known as the Perpendicular, and this is the style we see today. About 400 years later, the church was in a very bad state and on the point of collapse, so the citizens again raised the money to put it to rights. This was finished in 1848. The outer walls, the tower, and the lower part of the spire are original. The renovation of the rest of the building is faithful to the original, with the major exception that the roofs and ceilings of the aisles were redesigned to let more light into the nave through the clerestory windows. That's enough about the outside for now. Let's go inside. The arcade of arches to left and right outline the nave, with all its neat rows of pews. These have replaced the original box pews at head height. The ceiling is beautiful, with white and gold angels against a sky blue background. The ceiling arches are supported on these lovely carved busts. The carvings inside and on the outside of the church are a particular feature. Beyond the nave lies the chancel. Notice the beautiful altarpiece showing the Last Supper. Above it is a stunning stained glass window. The window is a memorial to Burchell Rodway, who had been a churchwarden. The chancel also has a beautiful roof. It is reminiscent of embroidery. George Crabbe, a well-known poet, was the rector here from 1814 to 1832. This is his memorial tablet on the north wall of the chancel. Part of the inscription says, "Born in humble life, he made himself what he was, breaking through the obscurity of his birth by the force of his genius. Yet he never failed to feel for the less fortunate." What a wonderful thing to have said about you, and what a beautiful memorial. On the left of the chancel is the Whitechapel. In the 15th century this chapel was known as the Jesus Chapel. It has been stated that it is the finest bit of building in the church. The wonder of the Whitechapel truly is the carved stone vaulted ceiling. Imagine the time it must have taken to carve the stone. On the right of the chancel is the Duke Chapel or the Lady Chapel. The Duke's Chapel naming came about because it was the family chapel of the Duke of Somerset and then the Duke of Rutland, who were the successive holders of the manor of Trowbridge. The east window is the largest in the church, and from 1921 has been a memorial to the men who fell in the First World War. The stained glass is a real feature of this church. We are now looking through the chancel to the tower door, another beautiful image. We leave the church now, and I hope you have enjoyed this brief visit. There are just 2 items in the churchyard you should see as we leave. Just outside the north door is a stone that fell through the roof in the gale of 1990, close to 2 ladies who were serving coffee. What a shock it must have been. It used to hang high inside the spire and was intended to give it stability. It ended up more like a bomb. Lastly, this is a tomb of Thomas Helliker, a 19-year-old apprentice cloth worker. He was executed in 1803 for involvement in the industrial riots around the area. Many people considered that he was a scapegoat and collected together to provide this tomb. Over the years, Thomas Helliker has been considered a martyr. Each March, a group of people meet to commemorate his death. So, on this rather sad note, we end our brief visit to beautiful St. James in Trowbridge, but I hope that it may have encouraged you to visit the church for yourself.